And it's Friday night. Where's my water? There it is. Feel like Ferris Bueller. Throw that thing over there and hit it. All right, so first thing we'll do is we'll take a sip of water. We'll double check and make sure we have a mic. We don't. It's sitting way over there. Okay, now we have a mic. We do have air conditioning and a fan, so you'll hear a little bit of that. Let's move this mic out of the way and closer. Now we got a Friday night show going. There we go. We got the Z6. Tune that in just a hair. If you guys are already in the room, I'll be welcoming you in a second. Keep your pantyhose on. We'll be here. It's live. Okay. Gotta get the tie. I get fancied up for Friday night. After all, I got my best friends in here all at one time. And we got the ZFC. I do have a guest camera. Let's see if you can figure out which one is the guest camera. It won't be coming up for another couple of cameras. So let's see. We'll come over here. First thing I'll do is check if I be live. Do I be live? Yes, I'm live. How about that? What do you know? What do you get when you fall in love? Da la 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 la. Da 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 la 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 da. I'll never fall in love again. All right, so do I have the correct modes running? I'm double checking that. Slow mode. We've got slow mode. I didn't want 60 seconds, but we'll deal with it. If I have to change it later, we'll change it. Okay, so let's see who I got in here. Welcome. Friday night. Do you know where your camera is? You do. Okay, so let's come in. Do we have anybody in here with me? Yep, you found the guest camera. If you haven't been paying attention, it just left. Okay. So let's see what we've got. The chat is now open. Roy says, I nearly forgot my cup of coffee. I did. I got my cup of... You can't watch my show with water, coffee, hot chocolate, something. Hello? Okay, so this is the Friday night. It's an hour show. David is here. Hey, big boy. How you doing, Tiger? I love you. Thank you for remembering me to come in on Friday night. Wow. That's quite an honor. And he's saying hello, and I'll drink some water too. I was going to get another... oh, yeah. Thank you, Scott. I'm doing 3. I'm doing on 3 tonight, okay? YouTube, which is the normal one, okay? And then I also have it going on Twitter. If you guys are on Twitter, I don't get to see with the system that I have, which is Ecamm Live. I do not get to see the, the comment. So if you want to comment, come over or go over to YouTube or go over to Facebook because it doesn't give me the Twitter. But it is broadcasting on Twitter. I'm just doing it to see what happens. I really would like to see what's going on. So, Roy, you being positive? Audio is good anyhow. Okay, so everything should be good. There should be nothing going on that's bad except for this tie, which doesn't know where to sit. Okay, so thank you for being here, Roy. What is going on? He got his cups of coffee. How many cups you got? Is it Elon, Gregg, or Peter Musk? I wonder if there is a Peter Musk. That would be interesting. Can I be a guest? One day you might be able to be a guest. You didn't email me like I told you. So you follow those instructions. Wait, where's my paper? Here's my kazoo. So when we have a kazoo band, I have my kazoo ready. So let's see. David follows instructions. No. Send me an email. Write me your phone number. I can call you and say hello. You don't have to write me a letter. Just email me and say hello. So Scotty, Roy is talking to you. As long as Mike doesn't explode or take off. You clean up really good, Mr. Gregg. Well, you know, how many weeks have we done this, Scotty? Where I've been wearing a tie. Is this the 5th week or the 6th week? I just think that it should be a little more formal on Friday night, even though this is our time for the boys to get together, get our hot chocolate, our deck of cards, pretzels, and whatever else we do. And Mr. Camera Junkie is here, and he will be here again tomorrow night, but not here in this room. He will be here in his room. Where? You see where it's red right here? Right there. Red. Mr. Camera Junkie right there. He'll be here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Tonight, if all goes well and the bridge isn't up, we will go to Sly, and she'll be on live. Guest cam is clipping. Oh boy. What kind of clipping? Are you talking about sound clipping or more information, please? More information. Scotty, testing, 1, 2. Scott, hello? Clipping where? Audio? Video? Video I can fix. Audio would be a little bit more difficult to fix. Oh, I can move the mic away. I can fix either one. Okay, you just got to tune me in. Kyle, my favorite Kyle in the whole wide world. I love you, Kyle. How are you doing? I didn't check to see if you have messaged me, but after 3, 4 o'clock on Friday nights, my schedule is I take a nap. When I take a nap, I go to sleep. When I go to sleep, I don't text. I don't do phone calls. Then I wake up, I stretch, and then I eat a little bit. I come in here, look at me, and I go, oh, damn, I better take a shower. I'm going to be live. So I run into the shower, I take a shower, I use the blow dryer, I blow dry my hair, and then I come in here and check on all the cameras. So like I said, we do have a guest camera in here tonight, and I'll tell you why in a second. So Scotty said the guest cam is clipping. Kyle is waving hello. Hi, Kyle. Love you, buddy. How's it going? How you feeling today? Did you eat? You have to eat. You can't just eat when you're hungry, Kyle. You have to eat when you wake up so that your blood sugar stays under control. And if you don't, I'll come over there and feed you. I'll be over there and feed you. So it's Saturday, midday for Roy. Hey, how's the kids today, Roy? I know you said you have three children? 3 children's? How are they doing today? Since it's Saturday, I guess you're going to be having a full day for you. David is 365 days of, I'm guessing, surfing, because he looks like he's holding a surfboard there. So, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, say a prayer for me, David. Seriously, dude. Okay? You need an older Christian guy to mentor you, kind of a thing. So Scotty says that the R6 is too bright. Let me entertain you, Scotty. So let's make sure. Are we on the R6? No, we're not. We need to be on. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So now let's do that. Okay, so I would have to, if the R6 is too bright, I'm going to have to change the ISO, which is not a hard thing to do, okay? I could do that if you excuse my belly and my pants, okay? So we got 1000 ISO. Let's move it down to 640, okay? So that was taken care of, easier than I thought. All right, so we are at 640 ISO, and it was up at 1000. because I was just using the camera. And I must have left it there. So is that better, Scott? Okay. It is? You sure it's better now? Okay. So I fixed it. Scotty, you earned your pay for the week, Scotty. That's straight out of the movies. Matt, how you doing, Matt? I love you. How's things going? Yeah. Ecamm, which is the software that I use. Let's turn this mic a little bit that way. So Ecamm is the software that I could use. It allows me to go into multiple places at one time. All right. So I decided to turn that on. It's Friday night. How many people we got here? 10. Oh, that's higher than I thought. Usually we have 6 or 7. So hello to everybody. If you want to message me and you're on Twitter, first of all, if you're watching me on Twitter, thank you very much. Thank you for watching me on Twitter. I have just been testing Twitter, and this is my real first for real broadcast. I did do some testing, all right, and it looked good. So let's see what we've got. So I was thanking everybody for being here for Twitter. If you're here from Twitter, the only thing is with Twitter, it doesn't allow the connecting for the comments. So I don't know if you're commenting. However, I'm also broadcasting on Facebook. And if you're watching me on Facebook, thank you so much. Okay. And you can make a comment on Facebook. I believe I can read the comments on Facebook. If you're one of the regulars or you're on Facebook, make a comment. I'd like to see if I could see it here. Now the YouTube, yes, I could see that. So Matt, thank you for being in here. Did you read that, Matt, or did it actually pop up on your Twitter? I'm not all that sure how Twitter works. Okay. So the E10 looks incredible. That's good news. I like it when things look incredible. All the camera, I believe, is correct. I'll check it as we go through. So we are... Hey, Charles. I've watched more of Charles this week than I have in a long, long time. Really long time. He took me on a tour of Winter Park downtown. That was fun. And he was showing me his setup. He was showing me the local high school kids, which they could be a little bit rambunctious. But it was fun. Roy says the guest cam looks good. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it. I know you have a Z6, so we are on the Z6 right now. So I haven't made any changes to the Z6. So the Z6 is doing well. I got to make some videos for the big channel, okay? So I am working on one. If you guys would like to help make me, you have been watching me at the regular guys for Friday night. What would be natural to go with me to put a video on for the big channel? So Roy says guest cam. Ray is in the house. How you doing, Raymond? Good to see you, buddy. There's his handsome face. He is our live-in model. He is a professional model. It means even when he wakes up, he looks good. When he goes to sleep, he looks good. When he eats breakfast, Ray looks good. When Ray is moving the apartment from one location, location A, maybe to location B, Ray looks good. Why does Ray always look good? When Ray is sleeping, Ray looks good because Ray is or was a professional model. I have to tease you a little bit, Ray. Okay. So Roy says R6 is not too bright, but lacking contrast. Well, this is as tuned in as I'm going to get on this for the moment. That Roy says the ancient Z6. I keep going back, Roy. I keep going back to the Z6, and now the ZF. What is it? The ZFC should be matching it now. Okay, because I spent a little time to try to tune them in together. Where is the ZFC? I don't know. There it is. There you are. ZFC. How you doing? Okay. Okay. So once you review the playback, let me know if you agree that the E10. Okay. So here's the trick: is the E10 has a letter because I have an E10W, which is the white body, and I have an E10B, which is the black body. However, the E10B has been replaced tonight as a guest camera, because I was working on something I do want to make a video on for the big channel. So I got some B-roll going. Here's Ray. I appreciate the compliments, Peter. I'll take them. I know how that feels, Ray. Yeah, somebody says something nice. I'll take that. Thank you. I'll take that. Okay. I'd like to tease you a little bit. I'm trying to stay away from the body parts because it might look a little inappropriate, but I'm just teasing you and you know it. But I don't know if the other people would know it. Okay. So Ray has the nicest ass in town. Okay. There, I said it now. Now everybody knows. But he works on it. He works out. He goes to the gym. He works out all the different body parts and stuff like that. But, you know, since he decided to model around by, doing whatchamacallit, jumping around in his underwear, it's a natural thing for a guy to use that to tease. It's just, I can't help it. I'm not going to tease him about his elbow or his face, although he is handsome. And here is David again, hair by Ari. Oh, I didn't know you were doing hair. So, David, you can help me with my hair. Okay? That's what you could help me with. All right? So, that would be appreciated. So, you want to laugh at me, David? You know who does my hair? Me. You know, I use a machine. Can you guess what machine? What machine, David, would you like to make the most fun of any other machine? That's the one that I use. Okay? So, there it is. Okay, so, I like this avatar. I like them both, David. This one, you've got your hair drooping down. And then the surfing one, your face is clear. You kind of got a handsome face, David. I'm going to have to tell you that, all right? I don't know if I know you well enough to tease you, but you're a good-looking guy for a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old. Scotty's got it right. Hair done by Floby. Floby. See, Scott's got inside information, so he just puts it right out. But it's the Floby. Floby, okay? So the Floby is a machine. Am I bleeding? No. I just took a shower. I would know if I was bleeding. You can't be banned. How can you be banned and then write me a letter? Write me a thing. Anyway, I didn't ban you. Okay? But it does have a slow mode. What do you call it? No, not slow mode. Yeah, something slow. Okay? Because we do get porn sites that try to come in and bomb. And put in lots of comments one after the other. And it is a family channel, so I don't like that. So one of the ways to do it is to put slow mode on. So slow mode means you can't put a comment in faster than 60 seconds. So if you want to say, hi, enter. Peter, enter. How, enter. Are you, enter. You can't do that when slow mode is on for YouTube. And the reason for that is we've gotten hit a few times. We've gotten hit by the porn sites, and they're computerized, which means they can react a lot faster than I can react. So one of the tricks of the trade is you put slow motion, or you put the channel into slow mode. And then when they try to rat-tat-tat-tat-tat, they can't. So since that's happened 3 times, I've learned, when I remember, to put slow mode on. Okay? And so it's not aimed at you, David, trust me. And you're not banned, and the proof is there's your text right there. And so there ain't nobody here that's going to ban you, all right? This is a family channel. Now, if you don't behave, first thing that happens, David, is I put you over my lap and you get a spanking. Bare-ass spanking, okay? Now, if you enjoy that too much, then I'll ban you, okay? So, Roy says, The R6 is still looking a bit dull. A dull boy. So let's go over to where is that R6? That would be the guest camera, right? That would be right here. So let's come over here. Let's see if I can undull this guy. Okay, so one way to undull it is to add a little bit of, what do you call it? I can add a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I added a little bit of contrast. And when you do that, you've got to add a little bit of brightness. So I can see the rosy cheeks, but the thing is, how does it look there? You know? Let's put that in kind of in the center. So are we doing a little bit better there, guys? So where did I leave off? Roy. And then Scotty says, yes, the R6 is downright bad. Oh, come on, Scotty. It's not downright bad. I'm looking at it, and it's not downright bad, okay? It just needs a little saturation or a little brightness. This is not looking bad at all. I don't agree with you. What do they call it? I respectfully disagree. Okay. Well, my jokes are gone. Slow mode, got them. So Fleischer Brothers. So you've got another channel. Okay, so I got to keep an eye on you, David. I am. So you know you don't have to write that much. Once a minute would be a pretty good whatchamacallit, okay? So, David, you're not too old for me to spank you, okay? So, just cooperate. Get the, well, you're on YouTube. That means you know. Have you ever been bombarded by a computer? That's happened here, okay? So, your jokes are gone. Slow mode got them. No, just wait for the number of seconds, and then you can put your joke. Okay. So, Scotty says, I'm a Canon guy but for my money, I would have never guessed, Scott. I would have never guessed what your favorite camera is tonight. Scott, what did you drink tonight, dude? It hurts me to admit it, but for my money, the E10 wins. Well, it depends. Okay. For my money, you know, what I do, I like the ZFC. Now, it depends on what you're looking at, Scott. So I'm looking at my skin tone. At 70 years old, skin tone's kind of important to me. Okay? So I am looking now. This is the one that you like, Scotty. So this is the E10. And you notice what it says up here? This is the E10W. Like George W. Okay. So, David says, can I call into the show? Yeah, but you won't get an answer. But you can email me with your phone number, and I could call you on the phone. Okay. And then I could see what kind of a personality you've got. If you're a wise ass, if you're a sweetheart of a guy, if you're just a normal guy, if you're like very, very, what do they call it when you take a lot of sugar? Hyper, that kind of stuff. You know, when you call into a radio station, they're kind of protective. How come this thing is not in? Because I don't have. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. Can I call into the show? No, but you could type. David. Behave, big boy. Behave. Okay. Behave. I think David is found himself a new friend here. I'll be your friend, David. I'll be your friend. How's your wife today? Are you really married? How's your wife? What's she doing? You know. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich? Is he rich like me? Here's Kyle. Hey, Kyle. How you doing, big boy? I can't wait for the V10 and my Samsung. Well, the Samsung should be coming fairly quick, right? The V10, Kyle, I don't think she's going to be arriving if you get on the pre-order. Pre-order with my Adorama link if you can. Everybody, okay? They give me double the commission that B&H does. Oh, guess what? I got cleared. I haven't put any links in there yet, but I got cleared where I can get, what do you call it? The affiliate commissions from guess who? Best Buy, okay? And Newegg. I bought so many computer parts from Newegg. So I'm going to have to put a link under the, it's not there now, okay? But so if you're going to buy something, I do encourage everybody, if you buy anything, come to one of my latest shows and click the link to, let's say you're going to buy something at Adorama or B&H. Click the link there. And the link is good for at least 4 hours if you don't click on somebody else's link. So what does that do? It gives me a commission. Is it a lot of money? No. But it does show the company that I'm actually generating links for them. So Kyle, nope. First it was Norm. You still doing the Friday night dinners, Norm? Merry Christmas. Good evening, Greggies around the world. How's everybody doing? Whoever's doing the thumbs down, change it. Put it as a thumbs up. You missed. I hate to be the one to clean your toilet, but you missed. You did, okay? And everybody that's doing the thumbs up, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I don't have my phones. So, but I am at the end. So, I think Randy's probably sleeping. So, Randy, if you're sleeping, take it easy, buddy. You put in a long week at work. I know it was a little rougher week this week than normal, but I got your back just like you got my back. I love you, and I thank you for everything that you do for me. So thank you for all the thumbs up. Yes, dinner, then drive. Boy, that doesn't change. It doesn't change very much, but that's okay. You get to see your kids. So let me ask you a question, Norm. Do you look forward to seeing your kids on Friday night? Or is it just kind of like same old, same old? Because tomorrow night, if all is well, if God is willing and the bridge isn't up, as they say, which reminds me, Norm, because I don't know how Jewish you are, okay, but I know you're Jewish because we've talked about that. I've been reading a little bit of Esther in the Old Testament. What a wonderful book. What wonderful teachings in there with Mordecai and Haman. The joke, as they say, was on Haman. He hated Haman in the book of Esther, which is in the Old Testament. Haman hated Mordecai, okay? And the book is called Esther because there's a girl named Esther in the book. So there's a girl named Esther in the book. So guess who the book was written after? It was written after Esther. Hello, you win the prize. Very good. So Haman is kind of one of these guys that always wants attention, constant attention. And the king had been paying attention to Mordecai, okay, who was one of his right-hand men. But Haman was also one of his right-hand men. So this doesn't mean it was a brotherly feud. Haman wanted to kill Mordecai. That's how bad it got. All right. So the king got fed up with his queen. She did something to piss him off, and it was not a good thing. She wasn't all there, okay? So he got rid of her, and he said, I need a new queen. So I want all the most beautiful girls in the world to come and apply for the job of being queen of the country. So the girls came. All of them wanted to be queen, you know. So Esther is actually Mordecai's niece, I think. Okay. So the way that Haman was going to kill Mordecai is he found out that he was Jewish. So he said, well, if I get the king to sign a petition that if you're Jewish, we get to kill you. I mean, that's the simplicity of it. Okay. So, long story short, Esther was picked as the queen. She won. Mordecai is her uncle, okay? So he tricks, Haman tricks the king into doing something with the Jews. So Haman says, I got him now, you know. So God gets involved here, okay? So the king couldn't sleep. So this is really a dumb thing to do, but the king decided to look through the books of records. And if I can't sleep, I'm not going to look through the book of records. So if David or hi, Jim, I'll say hi to you proper, or Scott or somebody is going to look through the book of records, okay? I mean, if they can't sleep, they're not going to look through their book of records, okay, or diary. So anyway, the king looks through the book of records, and he sees that Haman that Mordecai's been doing, Mordecai's the good guy, been doing all this great stuff, and he's never rewarded him. Okay? Now, this is when it gets a little funny. It's not funny because somebody dies in the end, okay? But, so the king comes in to breakfast the next morning, finally goes to sleep, and he goes, the first guy he sees is Haman, the bad guy. So he goes, Haman, you're one of my counselors. What can I do for a man that has done so much good for the nation? So Haman's got his ears. He perked up. Somebody's done so much good for the nation, and the king wants to reward him. He's done so many good things, and I forgot to reward him. So Haman's thinking like, oh, my goodness. He's talking about me. Talk about being self-centered. This is a good, I didn't even take this until this very second. So if you're self-centered, okay, then this is a good lesson here. So Haman says, you should create a big feast and call all the people to come to the feast and honor them with your robe. Honor them with a high position. He thinks he's talking about him. So that, I mean, God knows how to lay a trap, okay? So the king said, that's a great idea. Make it so. Like Captain Luke Picard, make it so. Okay? So Haman goes, I'm going to get a feast. I'm going to get a feast. So he figures, since this is going to be a feast, then I'll be getting honored. So I want the king to kill Mordecai, my enemy. So Haman orders them to build the biggest gallows in the land, tall, right in the king's courtyard, a huge gallows with a guillotine, because during this great big feast, he's going to convince the king to kill Mordecai. So he prepared this guillotine just for his enemy. Okay? Now, this is how people will say, well, where was God when I needed him and stuff like that. Well, here's how God works. If you want a little bit of an insight, you basically set yourself up for your own fall. Okay? And that was, Haman decided to build a guillotine gallows to kill his enemy. Well, guess who got killed on it? Guess. I give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. So Haman had this gallows built, okay, and all this bad stuff went on, and he presented the queen to all the people, and so on and so forth. And he said, "My queen, what can I give you?" Now remember, the new queen is now Mordecai's niece, so she's his uncle. Okay, now. Haman signed a decree saying that you could freely kill Jewish people in our country, kind of like Hitler. Okay, so the queen said, "Well, you signed a decree, okay, to kill all the Jews." She said, "They haven't done anything wrong." So he says, so she says, "Can you reverse that order?" And he says, well, once the king gives an order, it's done. I can't reverse it. Okay? So she says, oh, you have to do something because I'm Jewish also. and you've just given people the right to kill me." So the king thought and thought and thought, and he said, "Who put a law like that in my mind to kill my queen?" So you see how it got set up? So he says, the first thing is, I give all the Jews the right to bear arms in the country and the right to defend themselves from any attack with no fear of reprisal from me. So the Jews armed themselves, so if anyone wanted to kill them, they could fight back, number one. And then he said, "Who gave me this law against my own queen?" Haman went and hid in the corner. And the queen said, "He did." And all the eyes, even David and Roy and Scott and Jim and me, all the eyes turned to see who was huddling in the corner, and guess who it was? The guy that built the gallows. So he said, "Execute that man for trying to kill my queen and the innocent people in this land." So that afternoon, Haman was killed on his own gallows that he built by his own order. And thus peace came in the land. God used the queen, and God used his people to set what was wrong and to set it right. That's what I was reading, okay? So when you think, oh, the Bible is like so dull and boring, try it. I like it. You don't have to read it if you don't like. Okay, so let's go. Let's get back to the show. There was a show in progress here, wasn't there? Okay. I put my number in the chat multiple times, and it's not letting me through. Okay. David, sweetheart, darling, is your chat right there? Okay? It's right there. So you're writing something in the chat that YouTube, not me, is stopping. Okay? That's number one. Number two, David, sweetheart, darling. Okay? Have to do something to get your attention. Don't put your phone number in the chat. It's public. Come on, dude. You're better. You're smarter than that. Look in the description. Find my email. It's down 3/4 of the way. Click on sending me an email. Say, "Hi, this is David. Here's my number." If you can't do that, have your brother do that. If you can't do that, have your wife do that. And then in the next day or so, I will try to call you. David, I don't make things that hard. You can ask anybody in here. I'm usually willing to talk to almost anybody. David, sweetheart, darling. All right. So let's get back. So, I mean, do you need proof? Hey, wake up over here. That's better. I put my number in the chat multiple times, and it's not letting me. Okay, well, it let that go through. Okay. Maybe YouTube, without me, is protecting you by not letting your phone number be there. Okay. Don't forget, they're not looking to get sued. So be a little, turn on what's between the ears. No, not down there, up here. Turn on your head. Not that head. That one's always on for a guy. Turn on this head, the one between these ears, okay? Even Scotty, email your phone number to Peter. Scotty is helping you, David. Okay, so Fleischer Brothers, can a mod please link Peter's email? No, I don't want my email put up there publicly. David, we're going to have a talk, okay? So you send me your number so I can have a talk with you, okay? Now, there's such a thing as privacy, security, and protection. I wouldn't allow anybody in here to expose themselves. I wouldn't make you come up here and drop your pants. I wouldn't make you come up here and give me your phone number or your email publicly, David. Okay? So here's what you do, David. Think in terms of security, that there's bad people out there. And there are. There are bad people. I've actually had to call the police on somebody that was harassing me right here through YouTube. Okay? And now tonight, I'm on bigger than YouTube. I'm on Twitter. Hi to all my Twitter fans. I'm on Facebook. Hi to all my Facebook fans. And I'm on YouTube. So I'm not only trying to protect myself, David, I'm trying to protect you. Okay, big boy, I'm trying to protect you too. All right? So find the email. Okay, I'll tell it to you real quick. Okay, petergreggonline@aol.com. Shh, not going to say it again. Now you could play it back and get it. But that link or that email address is in the description. Okay, so you could use your wife's email. You can use your brother's email. I understand you've got a few brothers. Okay, and you can use your own. Okay, and if you don't think you can write it, the Mac computers have where you can click a button and you can talk. Okay, so you could talk your email also. If you're not interested in talking to me, that's okay. You got that right also. Like Scotty, you have the right to remain silent. Okay, you have the right to. Okay, that's something I learned this week too. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so Lewis, how you doing, Lewis? I love you, big boy. How you doing? What's going on? Hello, Peter and friends. You looking great, brother. I love you. I love you too, Lewis. I'm so glad you decided to come in and say hello tonight. That means that you remembered, and I'm grateful. So your time zone is 3, so it's 7:43, so you might still be at work. Are you calling me while you're at work, Lewis? So, hey, Lewis, did you see that new camera? That's $429. I got a link to it on Adorama. Adorama accepted me, Lewis, as so I can put affiliate links. So when people buy from Adorama, I do get a commission from them. Actually, twice as much as B&H. So you know how, like Mordecai and Haman meant something for bad by removing me from B&H? Well, Haman did that. Now Mordecai got me in to Adorama, which is double the commission. Who knew? All right. So Lewis says, I am looking good. Scotty says it's in the description. So, yep, Scott's stepping in to help you, David. He really is. He really is. Scott, never thought I would see you say that about the E10. Well, we had a big adjustment period. I don't know if it was a Friday. I think it was a 3 o'clock in the morning deal. Because this week, I've done, out of 5 days, I think I've done 5 going live just to get me out of being depressed or down in the dumps or being sad or getting down on myself. I decide, have you, what can I do to help? So, you know who I called? Motivated Minds. Carlos. I said, Carlos, I'm down in the dumps. Seriously, bro, I am really down in the dumps. And I just rattled off the list of, I feel depressed. I feel insignificant. I feel, the woe is me kind of a thing where you just kind of like beat up on yourself. So he says, Peter, you got to get out of your mindset. I know you're going through troubles with your brother suing you, and those court cases can get involved and they can get very aggressive. Okay. Get out of your mindset. Do something to shake yourself up. So after I talked to Carlos, I came in here, make sure everything was off, and I said, what can I do to shake off this depression? I'm going down a black hole, okay? And I said, you know where all my friends are? My friends are at the end of the camera. So I have a couple of shirts hanging up here. So I put on a shirt. I got this brush. I made myself look somewhat presentable. I'm not always that presentable. Sorry, okay? I did have my gym shorts on, so I wasn't in my underwear. I turned the cameras on and before I could think twice, because you'll think of 1,000 reasons if you're depressed as to why you shouldn't. You just want to go to bed, curl up, and mope over yourself. It's called, what's the syndrome? Debbie Downer. Okay, so Debbie Downer is a downer, but it doesn't matter if I got chocolate chip cookies for you, Peter. Well, they'll make me fat. I got ice cream for you, Peter. Well, it's not on my low-carb diet. Peter, I got a brand new blonde. She's just your height and she's gorgeous. Well, she probably wouldn't like me anyway. That's a Debbie Downer. Sees everything in a negative way, okay? That's what I was feeling like. So I turned it on and I went live, okay? And I did a 3.5-hour show. This was just for me trying to get out of falling into a depression. I don't like depressions. They're not good. Depressions are bad, okay? So now the E10's got me sitting too low. Let's see if I can fix that. I think I must have... Hold on. Okay, so I came live, and of course, Scotty, the first guy in the room, all right? Scotty is somebody that will be there for you no matter what, okay? So, but he's not the only one. I think there's a lot of people in here that do the same thing. So we wound up having almost as many people as we have in here now. Seriously. From this was like 3 a.m. Okay. Scott, do you remember when it was? So anyway, let's get back on track or I won't be able to sign off at 11 Miami time. Okay. So David says, have you ever had Hammond's ear cookies? I've never heard of them. Did you type that in correctly or incorrectly? I got myself with a joke. Did you type that in correctly or incorrectly? David, you should be laughing there, dude. I made a joke. Thank you for setting me up. David is the straight man. Okay. So David's a pretty cool guy, at least from here. I don't know him. I will know him when he gets me his phone number. I'm going to talk to him and see if we are actually compatible. Peter's description is longer than the Bible. Did you read it? Can you read okay, David? No, I don't mean that as a joke, because you did say you're dyslexic, okay? So maybe reading is a little bit hard. So the first section is the first question everybody wants to know, okay? Well, actually, the first section is where people can actually bless me financially, okay? Because this channel is not monetized. People can't bless me financially, and some people really want to, okay? I'm always getting asked, how can I send you something? So it's showing you. Send me an Amazon gift card. I can use those because of the lawsuit, my credit cards have gotten shut down. So I can't go to Amazon and buy batteries if I need to. So people do send me. Jim Monday is one of the guys. How come I didn't say hi to you, Jim? Wait a minute. That ain't right. Okay, so Jim Monday is one of the guys that says, I see him come up on Google, but no relation. He beats me in the search rankings. Okay, so he's talking to Scotty. That's the one I was looking for. Jim says, hi, Peter. Hi, Jim. So I guess I have to ask this question, Jim. Where are you? Inquiring minds need to know. Where are you, Jim? But Jim is one of the people that sends me an Amazon gift card to the email that's in, apparently the email that's in the description. David can be found because Jim Monday, he sends me a gift card. Actually, he's been doing it every month. So this program is brought to you by a grant. Sound like a PBS station now, right? By a grant from Jim Monday. Okay, so if you want to support a show and have your name on it, then send me a gift card through Amazon. So that proves that that email is there. Okay. So what was I talking about? I was talking about David. David, your description's longer than the Bible. So my description starts out kind of like with some kind of thought behind it. So the first thing I want to do is if anybody wants to bless me, I've got that up front. If anybody goes to church or anything, you know that blessing people is an important thing. The next question that I get, what camera are you using? So I try to solve that two ways. Number one, I put up in the corner what camera it is that you're watching right this minute. Because I just watched Sam Hall, I think is his name, but I might have his name incorrectly. And damn if his skin didn't look really good. And I'm going like, I wonder what camera he's using and what the settings. I looked in his description. I looked everywhere. No mention of what he's using. Therefore, the next thing I have in my description is the gear that I'm using. Okay? Then the next thing I give is a little lesson on how do I do live streaming. What do I need to do live streaming? So I give a very simplified explanation in my description showing what I used and, of course, the link, because I want people to use my link. So that makes sense. Right, David? Okay. So that's the next thing that I put in my description. Then what do I put? Then I put how can you reach me and what are my YouTube channels. So I put my email address and I put the other YouTube channels that I have. And after that, I don't remember what I have there. Oh, I have to have an acknowledgement that the links in my description are affiliate links. Okay? So that is what's in the description. So I think I organized that pretty well, David. I really do. Scotty's answering Lewis, and I didn't follow what they were saying. So I'm not sure. I never thought I would. Oh, he's talking about the E10. But on one of those middle of the night shows, the whole gang that was here was helping me with the cameras. So every camera has gotten a little bit of hands-on fine-tuning except for the R6. And the R6, I actually just finished using it in the living room. So I'm going to make a video. I don't know if I'm going to put it here or on the big channel showing you what I did. All right. So now there's no noise in here. So the mic should sound really good. And this guy that's going around is on the slowest speed possible. So Jean is here. I asked you how I pronounce your name. Hi, Peter. I'm glad I caught your stream. I just got back from Bible study. And what do? I give you a Bible study. I'm so sorry. So is it Jan or Jean? Okay. I do like to say your name properly. It's only from my heart that I ask. Okay. So Mr. B. How about if I call you Mr. B? Okay. But what if you're a lady? Miss B. Miss B. Miss B. I just made up a new name. So he's saying, I'm glad I caught your stream. So between the cameras, the Bible study, and then camera techniques, we're pretty well rounded here. So the people that hate the Bible and don't believe in God, well, they might find out that all Christians aren't bad guys. I hope I don't come across as a bad guy. Or if you have a faith and it's not Christian, I respect you. Do whatever you like. You got to allow me the same choice, though. I get to do what I like. This is my channel. You can have a channel and do what you want. All right? And I say that respectfully. But don't try to tell me what to do on my channel. Okay? Which is why I don't like YouTube. YouTube is the censorship, I was going to say king. But they're kind of like girlish. So they're the censorship queen. Okay? So God bless you, Lewis. Yeah, Lewis. God bless you, buddy. I'm so glad to have you here, but I didn't read your comment. Gonna have to chat with you soon, with you, Scott, on that. Oh, so you'll talk to Scott, but you won't talk to me. Lewis doesn't like me anymore. I have tried. I have called him. I have messaged him. I have hugged him. I have done everything but pat him on his butt. Okay? And he just does not want to talk to me. And yet, I love Lewis so much. So I'm there for you, Lewis. Whatever you need, big boy, I'm here. So David says, only people on Twitter expose themselves. Yep, they get on there and their personality, which, by the way, this is going live on Twitter right now. And if I go over there and I go to Twitter, which I'm not sure how to do, and I refresh, I can actually see if anybody wrote me a hello or anything. Nobody said anything, okay? So nobody even said hello. Hello? Nobody said hello. So if you're on Twitter, you kind of can't just say hello to me. Testing, 9999, check, 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 check. Deposit, 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 deposit. Okay, so let's get back. I hear the people do that with the microphone. Check, check, 2, 3, check, check. Well, you know what I'm thinking? They're writing a check. So deposit, 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 deposit. Get it? Okay. I made it funny. All right. So Norm is a good, he's one of my good friends, goes back a long time. Interesting discussion of Queen Esther and Mordecai. That's the story of Purim. Do I enjoy dinner and driving? Asalupi gives me time to chat with my kids. He said children, but I made it more personable. I'm glad for you, Norm, because, you know, that's probably your most valuable thing other than your own life. And I don't know if you're married, so your wife, okay, would be your kids. So I never asked you, David, do you have kids? Or you just got married? I don't know how long you've been married. So, Norm, let me give you a star for that one. You guys don't see the stars. I put the star here. It's for me. Okay, so Roy said, the last thing we want Peter is Peter exposing himself. Yes, really. Well, I just did kind of tell you a little bit, okay, where I was feeling down. Not everyone, Roy. Oh, David. David, is tonight your night for going gay, David? Okay, I know, different days, different spirits that move you. That's okay. Even if you are gay, I love you, David. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm 70 years old. I'm not dangerous to anybody, honestly. Okay. Norm says, are the owners of B&H and Adorama related? Brothers, cousins. Yes, they're brothers. And actually, that brother just passed away. So the brother that broke off or separated himself from B&H started his own company called Adorama. And they've been in competition, probably a friendly competition, but brothers can get my own brother is suing me, and that's one of the reasons I get down in the dumps. Okay, I mean, you can have fights with your brother, but dang, for your brother to sue you, that's pretty intense. Okay, so he's suing me and trying to kick me out of my house. That's what's going on. So if you don't think that could become a little bit disturbing, it can. But you know, just like we read in Esther, that brother that is trying to build a guillotine to try to destroy me without me doing anything. Mordecai didn't do anything. Nothing at all. But Haman built the guillotine to kill him. So my brother is trying to sue me to get me out of the house. So I'm going to invoke the book of Esther on my brother. Whatever gallows he's bringing to take me down, it's going to be used against him. Okay? Do I feel sad about that? In a way, I do. But I don't want to be the guy to do vengeance on my own brother. Let God handle it. He could do it a lot better than me, number one. And I don't have to feel guilty because he is my blood. He's my brother. But then you get friends like you guys who are acting more like brothers to me than my brother is. Okay? I'll get emails from you all week long. How you doing, Peter? How's the court thing going, Peter? Is there anything I could do for you today, Peter? And that's you guys. Okay? So if you don't think you make a difference, you do. Each and every one of you. Okay? So that's the word on the street, Norm. Yeah, it's public knowledge. They'll even explain it. Okay. So David says, if that's true, it's either a brotherly rivalry or one of those laundry scams, or where a brother has gotten a hair up his butt and can't control himself and needs to be disciplined by one of the parents. Okay. And our parents have gone to heaven. Okay, we're Christians, so we believe our parents are in heaven. So there's no parent here to correct him. Okay, so there's 4 boys in my family, so the other 3, including me, have tried to tell that brother to back off. Peter needs to live in that house, and you need to just back off, okay? But he won't, okay? So Norm is thanking Scott, and David is asking, did you Google it? I'm not sure. What was it we were talking about? Jim. Okay, so Jim is telling me where he is, and he is back home at my casa. House and dog sitting this weekend. So you could kind of relax and chill out, because Jim is on the road a lot. So when I call him on the phone, I don't know where he is. I really don't. It's like, that's the first thing I ask him. Hey, Jim, where are you? Okay. Well, I'm in Virginia. Well, I'm in North Carolina. Well, I'm in, where else have I talked to you? Tennessee? Were you in Tennessee or West Virginia? So Jim gets around. I'd hate to be his car, the wear and tear on that car. So Norm, so he knows a little bit. He's going to show off a little bit. So I'm going to let him, okay? The Book of Esther is known as the Megillah, okay? It's a scroll of papyrus that we read on Purim and the Borscht. Oh, Norm. Just throw the words at me, Norm, okay? I can handle most of them because I do like to study. We do learn, those that are Christians, this stuff. But, I mean, can you put any more words in there that people can't pronounce? I'm sure you can, Norm. I'm sure you can. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Okay, Norm is all right. Borscht Belt, the comedians refer to a long story as the whole Megil Mulligan, okay, a 2-hour read. Fleischer says, okay, oh, David, sweetheart, I'm going to call you, okay? Now, when I finish here, I'm going to be a moderator on Sly's channel, all right? So I will probably email you back, and I will ask you how late you stay up, because if you're getting your beauty sleep, or you're having a romantic roll in the bed with your wife, I don't want to interrupt that unless you want to narrate to me. Well, now this is what we're doing, Peter. Okay, that would be interesting. No problem. All right, so good for you, David. Jean says it's pronounced John. Thank you. Now, here's the thing. Let's remember that, Peter. When you see G-A-N-N, it's John. When you see G-A-N-N, it's John. So if I screw it up, it's because of me, okay? So thank you, John. And I do appreciate you coming here and saying hi and even commenting, okay? Scotty, what are you going to say to me, Scotty? What are you going to say? At the moment, if I were buying a new camera body, it would probably be the S52. Wonder how well my assortment of EF lenses will work on it. It would be a tight fit, but yeah. It was the S52 is my number one camera. I'm also thinking of the Z8, but what do they call it when you flip-flop? I flip-flop between the two, but chances are I would wind up landing on the Panasonic S5 Mark II, which I call dearly S52, like the B-52 bombers, okay? If you're in Facebook, you're in the something, which I don't know what that word is. Okay. Yeah, I'm in Facebook. So Roy is talking to Scotty. Isn't the S52 a crop camera? No, Roy, it's not, but it is. Okay. So here's the thing. It's full frame up to 30p. Above 30p, 4K. It's full frame up to 30p, 4K. Okay, full frame. Full frame, okay? After that, it's a 1.5 crop. So that doesn't endear me to it. But I can kind of live with it, all right? But it would be nice if 60p was also full frame, all right? And I can't explain that right now, but it's because I'm going to do a video that shows you how to use your P. I'm going to do a video that teaches you how to P, okay? So you have 24p, you've got 30p, and you've got 60p, all right? Now, most people will choose one, and the way they'll choose it is because that's their favorite. And I'm guilty of that. I choose 30p. It's my favorite. Okay? By the way, let me check here. Make sure what in my testing I have not screwed myself over. So I am in 4K 2160 30p. Okay. They gray it out so I can't see it. All right. So I am in 30p. So you're watching this 4K live. All right. So I am going to teach a method where how you could use the frames per second, which is 24, 30, and 60, differently. Doesn't mean you're going to have to throw out what you believe, what you like. You don't even have to entertain my thoughts. I mean, God gave you a mouse. If God didn't want you to click, he wouldn't have given you a mouse. Okay? So that is a different way of looking the frames per second. And I want to teach that. I got to make a video for it. So John says, Esther is such a fascinating book. God was never directly mentioned in it. Unique for being a book in the Bible, but is seen in all parts of Esther's story. Well, the way I look at Christianity, and I do have a few years under my belt, okay, is everything in the Old Testament God put there for a reason, okay? So here, let me shock everybody, okay, including my Jewish friends, okay? The Bible is full of book of contradictions. Whoa! I mean, that should give me 45 thumbs down, right? But hear me out, all right? If you don't understand what God was doing and how he did it, you will get 100 contradictions. In one place, God is blessing you. In another place, God is killing an entire city. Okay? In another place, God is telling Jonah to do something. In another place, Jonah winds up in a whale. Why? How can there be so much contradictions? Until you realize from the very first word, it's all a picture book in the Old Testament, and how all those pictures fulfill what God did in the New Testament. Now, if you're not a Christian, you don't put those two together. Some Jews do, okay, but most Judaism doesn't, okay. However, never disrespect another man's faith. It's his choice. We are not slaves. God does not call us slaves, okay. We are free to make our own choice, all the way down to being atheistic. All right? So, but the way I see it is the Old Testament is a prelude of what is fulfilled and comes to pass in the New Testament. Now, if you can't find the picture in the Old Testament, you can't find what happened in the New Testament. Okay? So you've got the book of Esther that I just explained to you. How does that relate to what Jesus did at the cross? You have to be able to put those two things together to find where there is no contradictions in the Bible. Okay? If you can't find the way the Old Testament is a prelude to what happens in the New Testament, you have a book, two books, two. The Old Testament and the New Testament are full of contradictions. Okay? So I know I riled you up, but I hope I explained it. All right? So if you're a Christian kind of a guy, the Old Testament, you read it to find out what is the picture, the symbology of what God was going to show you or actually come to pass in the New Testament. So here's the most simplistic one. God created Adam and Eve. Okay? Good. Adam and Eve, they did something wrong. We read that. They ate the apple. It wasn't an apple, okay? God didn't like it. Why didn't God like it? Because God gave them a book of rules. Instead of obeying him, the devil came up and said, God's a liar. And Adam and Eve chose to decide that the devil was telling them the truth and God wasn't. Because God told them, don't eat from that tree. Because if you do, surely you're going to die. Okay? And that was the truth that God told Adam and Eve. Well, the devil came and told Adam and Eve, God told you a lie. If you eat from that, surely you will not die. The devil added one word, not. That's how the devil flips things. Okay? So, Adam and Eve ate. Adam and Eve were thrown out of God's house. You'd rather buddy up with the devil? Go ahead. But you can't stay in my house while you're buddying up with the devil. So God took them out of his house, the Garden of Eden, and closed it up. Now, Adam and Eve do what husband and wives do naturally. Do I have to explain that to you guys? When a woman and a man get together, there's some natural things that happen. I didn't invent that. God did. It's called sex. They created children. Okay? They didn't create children because a stork delivered the child. All right? They did a little something. It was Valentine's Day. How about that? So they got together for Valentine's Day and they made a baby. Then they made another baby. Okay? Now, these two babies are born outside of the house because Adam and Eve were kicked out. Adam and Eve had sex outside the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve had babies outside the Garden of Eden. Okay? And the door was closed. They couldn't get back in. But God gave them a promise. I'm going to send you a deliverer. Okay? Now, until that deliverer came, what do? How do you deal with your daily life? Well, here's the picture that God drew for us. Adam and Eve, when they ate from the wrong tree, the devil tried to make it sound like God actually was a cheapwad. God doesn't want you to eat from that. Well, God made 1,000,000 trees. You can eat from any one of those trees that you damn well please. Okay? But don't eat from that one. That gave them free choice. And God said, when you eat from that one tree, okay, the knowledge of good or evil, okay, you will die. So I take it that was stress. When you eat and you get, you have to decide between good and evil. Like, I can't decide whether I could say the word ass on my, this is a friendly, family friendly. So now I have to think. That's stress. Not the thinking, but the like, which one is the right one? Okay? So the right one is don't say ass, because this is a family-friendly show. So now I'm getting stressed out because I've done it twice. And in my heart, I didn't want to do it. So I'm actually releasing stress. You know what the stress does? It kills you. You get enough stress, you get heart problems, you get blood sugar problems. You try to hide your stress by eating more cake, more candy, more sugar, liquid sugar, okay? You get endorphins and you can forget the stress, okay? That's what stress does. That's why God said, don't eat. Don't eat from that book, from that tree. So they did it. Then they got stressed. I'm naked. I can see my wiener. So I'll fix it. This is Adam talking now. I'll fix it. I will fix it. That's the first problem that needs to be solved. I will fix it. So what did Adam and Eve do? They went over to the fig tree. They looked at all the trees. Now, they still got all the trees. Okay? God didn't take away the trees. And, oh, that's a big leaf. I can cover my teeny weeny. So they take this big leaf and they put it in front of him. It was a fig leaf. And then Adam says, here's one for you too, sweetheart. Okay. She covers herself. So God comes along and says, what you doing? Okay. So it went on and on. She made me do it, basically. That's for standing up for your girlfriend, right? She made me do it. It's her fault. Okay. That's man. Now he's lying. See what happens when you eat from the wrong tree? But it's too late. We're all in that family. Okay, so God killed an animal and made clothes and gave them some rules to live by. Now, Adam and Eve had kids, little children, brats, rugrats, okay? They started to grow up, and they grew up. They learned from their mommy and their daddy. You have to make a sacrifice to God to cover your sin. And this is how you do it. So Adam and Eve has got their boys, and they show them how to do it. So now the boys know how to do it. So when it came time for Cain and Abel, that was the name of the boys, okay, to make the sacrifice, Abel did what God showed them. He shed blood, okay, and the reason is Abel's sin went into the blood of the animal that got sacrificed. It died for a reason. Cain says, I'm not going to kill an animal. I'm a pro-animal activist. And I've got all these people parading out there with signs. Thou shalt not kill animals. So I'm going to offer to God something from my own hands, my own works. I'm going to bring him a basket of vegetables. Cain was a vegetable farmer. Okay? All he had to do was go to his brother and say, I need a lamb so that I can sacrifice too. No. So he brought vegetables to the Lord. Abel brought blood. Okay, so what's the difference? The difference is the blood can receive the sins. The vegetables can't. You can be vegan, vegetarian, all you want. Can't help you with your blood. Okay? So God said, Did your parents kind of show you what you were supposed to do, Cain? Yes, but I'm an animal activist. I don't like when they test animals for pharmaceutical bullshit. This is how he's talking to God now, okay? I don't like it when they kill the beef to make steaks for Publix, for the grocery store, for Kroger. So I brought you a basket of vegetables. You should be eating vegetables, God, okay? So God said, I don't like that. So you know how Cain responded? He killed his brother. And the rest is history. That's the picture that God gave us of why the sacrifices were done in the Old Testament. So where is the picture? How does that play out in the New Testament? Okay, so for 4,000 years, the people that were in covenant with God, the tribes, Judaism, okay, they have been making the sacrifices. So they would bring a lamb, and they would bring it to the priest, and the priest say, that's a good lamb, okay? I accept it. So now the man that brought the lamb, he has to kill the lamb. So he kills the lamb. The people cook it. The best part of the lamb is given to the priests. And before the man kills it, he lays his hand on the lamb's head. And there's a big exchange. All the good parts of the righteousness of the perfect part of the lamb got put on to the man. And all the man's sins got put on to the lamb. Now, when it came time for God to bring his sacrifice, he didn't bring a lamb. He didn't bring a goat. He didn't bring a bull. He brought his son. You have the reality of what the sacrifice was intended to be. So that is how the Old Testament is a picture of what gets fulfilled in the New Testament. So when Jesus took all the sins of the world and put it on him on the cross, what did we get? Those that believe in Jesus, those that have accepted Yeshua, which is the name for Jesus, they get his righteousness. He is the perfect lamb. He is God's son. So we get the righteousness of God. Now, when people come and tell you you have sin, where is the sin? Can you tell me where it is? It got put on Jesus on the cross. The sin is not on you anymore. Can you sin? Yes. Are you accountable for your sin? No. Is this a free ticket to sin all you want? Absolutely not. That is an evil thought. Okay? Because how did you find out you were sinning? You got it from the Torah. okay, which is, the top part is the 10 Commandments. God wrote it down on stone. It's the only part of the law. There's over 600 and something laws. That's the only part of the law that got written on stone. Okay? God says we have a stony heart. Now, when we leave there and we go into Christ, we get his righteousness, but we leave the law and being bound, kind of married to it. And we get married to Jesus. So you do have a husband. We're not talking sexual here. He's got his own rules, his own laws. And they start with love. Which is why I come to you and I say, I love you. Because you could be a scoundrel and I still love you. Okay? Because, especially if you're a Christian gal or boy, all right, Jesus took your sins on him. And now, if you're not a Christian boy or girl, you got to deal with them, not me. It's not for me to point and say, aha, you're gay and you're going to hell. Hey, I'm not God. I don't see a stamp here that says God. But there is a Bible, and you've got to work it out. So, I do mentor a lot of kids. Young guys, I should say. I need to stop calling them kids. But at my age, they're all beautiful. They're all kids, okay? I do mentor a lot of them, and about 4 or some are gay. So what do I do when I'm on the phone? Well, you're gay. I can't mentor you. I'm a Christian. Is that what God would do if you called him on the phone? Hi, God. Yeah, what you need? Well, I'm having a little problem. Are you gay? Yeah. He hangs up on you. Is that the God that we serve? No. Jesus took that sin. Are you free to be gay? You need to work that out by either reading the Bible or getting yourself a Christian that you can talk to that knows the Bible. Okay? But when you see anybody pounding on any group, gay, Asian, black, Indians, liberals, Democrats, okay? That ain't the way to run an airline, as they say. So, since it was after 11, I felt I could say what I wanted, and I did. Okay, so before 11, it was more on topic. So, let's get back to here, because if all is well, Sly will actually be having a show. Let me find Sly. So here she is. She's saying, hi. Sly, you got a show coming up? And she's saying hi to, I didn't even know Carlos was in here. So, Sly, if you got a show coming up, can you put your link on there for me? I'd appreciate it. If you don't have a show, Sly Reader, then let everybody know so that they know you're not going to have a show. And we might go longer, but out of respect to, I have to be there because I'm one of the moderators over there. So, Sly, will you be having a show? Or if anybody is looking at Sly's channel, can you guys kind of look over there? I could do it myself. Why ask somebody else to do something you could do for yourself? Huh? Tell me. All right, so let's go over to my studio. And let's go over to my studio. And that's not how to do that. So let's go over to YouTube. And let's go over to my subscriptions. And did a camera die? Did a camera just die? A camera just died. Oh, the R6 died. You know why? It's running on battery. All right. So let's go over to the Zoom. Now let's get back over. Let me make sure Sly didn't put in the link here. Okay. Let me go over to Sly. Subscriptions, and Friday, May 19th, almost didn't make it. So she does have a link. Okay. I don't know if I can find it. Yes, I can click on share. I can copy it, copy the link. Okay. And somebody else needs to do it because I can't paste. Well, technically I can paste, but I can't paste over here. There, Sly did it for me. There it is. Thank you, Sly. All right. So I'm going to log off now. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to do pee-pee. okay? Because I've been sitting here for an hour and a half, and yes, I gotta go potty, all right? And then I will eventually make it over to slideshow. I don't know why I just looked at the microphone. And I will take my role as chief pest to annoy her, to make her laugh, to make her smile, to make her cry, to make her frown, and still moderate. So if anybody's coming here and going over to Sly and you're not behaving, I got the power to ban on Sly's channel and anybody else that puts me as moderator. Okay? So if anybody is watching this on the replay, the relay, the repeat, make a comment, say hello, because I like to see your comments. I like to see you saying hello to me. I'd like the opportunity to say hello back to you. And I need you to comment and say hello. Or you could tell me I'm full of it. You could tell me that I'm spot on. You could tell me about your camera woes. Let me take a quick look. Hi, Carlos. Thank you for coming in. David, thank you for coming in. Sly, thank you for coming in. Craig, I didn't say hi. How you doing, Craig? No one wants to live on O Street here because it's a block. Okay. I could say P, but you can't. But you said it, so. Oh, it's the block after P. L-M-N-O-P. Okay, got it. Charles is here. I love all you guys. John is here. Roy is here. I'm just kind of doing a quick scan. John, if I miss anybody, I don't want to. Norm, Jim Monday, Scotty, did I say hi? Lewis, love you, Lewis. Love you, Lewis. Kyle, how you doing, Kyle? I'll be live over there, so I can't talk on the phone now. Just FYI, that's subcultured. So I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, my apologies. So now I could sign out. And in a couple of minutes, we'll be over at Sly's channel. And tomorrow night, we will be on Lewis's channel. And anybody else that goes live, and they're part of our little family here, we're all going to go in there, and we should all be subscribed to all the people in here, okay? And we will at least give them a thumbs up. Anybody that makes a YouTube video, they're trying real hard. So this is where I will meet you, and God willing, and the bridge isn't up, I will see you next Friday.